This is your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. We got some new Harry Mack. My man has been on it lately. This one is called Treat It Like a Hobby. I'm excited to dive in because just like I've been saying every single video, this shit has been unbelievably good. I'm going to be a little bit late on the Friday upload as far as whatever he drops tomorrow because I'm going to be gone from tomorrow morning until Sunday night, I believe. So I'll try to get whatever it is up on Monday and any other new stuff that comes out. But I appreciate you guys with the patience. Let's dive into this. Let's see what that man was cooking with.
Yeah, you gotta treat it like a hobby. I ain't saying your shit sound sloppy. I'm just saying if you're trying to hit the top, gotta take the pressure off. I'ma do it, homie, watch me. Yeah, you gotta treat it like a hobby. I ain't saying your shit sound sloppy. I'm just saying if you wanna be the best, all that pressure and that stress, your mental look. I used to brag about how much.
Okay, real quick, before we get into the verse, I just want to talk about the hook. I do kind of agree with that. I mean, like, I agree with it as far as like you got to take it like a hobby as far as like don't be too serious about it, right? Like if you go into something and you're way too serious and you're way too specific about every little tiny thing, I feel like sometimes that works against you. But at the same time, like he said, don't let it be sloppy. It doesn't mean to just let shit go. Like still make sure that you're trying to perfect your craft, but don't overdo it, right? Because you can get to a point where you're overthinking everything. Every little thing is just, it just starts to take away from the music, from the content that you're putting on YouTube, from the job that you have, you're trying to move up in, like whatever it is, like you can go too hard. There is a thing. And so I would agree with it. I mean, I don't know if I'd say like treat it like a hobby, but I think that that's the easiest way to kind of put it, where it's like it's something you enjoy doing, something that you probably want to turn into more, but at the same time, you take the pressure off of yourself as far as like, if this doesn't work out, I'm okay with that. I want it to work out and I'm going to work at it like I want it to work out, but I'm not going to put so much pressure on myself like this has to happen, because that is only going to lead you down a path of just being miserable, especially if it doesn't happen. It's going to stress you out, you know, and then it just, again, starts to take away from the craft.
Want to be the best, all that pressure and that stress, your mental look. I used to brag about how I'm daily smashing a mic and how rapping happens to be my biggest passion in life, and how I'll never give up on this endeavor of mine. Every second I'm stretching to find the cleverest rhyme. I wanted everyone aware. I would constantly share about my level of passion, how they could never compare to the way in which I choose to do my thing as a wordsmith. It's still true that music is my singular purpose, but I've learned over time some things defy the logical. The opposite of what you'd expect is paradoxical. The less I act like this rap shit is all important.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Ooh, okay. The opposite of what you expect is paradoxical. Like this his vocabulary is so strong.
True that music is my singular purpose, but I've learned over time some things defy the logical. The opposite of what you'd expect is paradoxical. The less I act like this rap shit is all important, the more likely I am to like my recordings. I'm saying this is everything to me. That's no longer the message. I'm lightening up and being less precious, because if I truly want my music to be epic and godly, I gotta take the pressure off and treat it just like a hobby. I'm saying, yeah, you gotta treat it like a hobby.
You got to agree with that. That's a great way to put it. Like, just you got to take some of that pressure off. Like, look at Pac, for example. Pac is gonna forever be listed among some of the greatest MCs ever to do it, and that man has a crazy catalog. And the reason why was because he didn't overthink any song. Like, it's not that he didn't want to make it. It's not that that wasn't his main focus, but he didn't overthink a song. He would get in the studio. They're like, "Yo, there's the beat. All right, I want you and you on the song with me. I'm gonna write my verse right now. You guys work on yours." He'd finish his verse, go in there, record it really quick. Do the dubs, which, don't get me wrong, the dubs probably could have been better in some situations. Like there's some songs of his that are extremely popular, but it's like it's not even lined up properly, which also could kind of fall on the engineering side of things more so than even the artist. But regardless, he knocks it out, just gets it done, right? Comes out of the booth and he's like, "Oh, you guys aren't done yet? Okay, I'm gonna work on another verse. If I finish this before one of you guys do, I'm just gonna hop on that next verse." And there's songs that was meant to have other people, but they didn't finish it in time, and he ended up writing 2-3 verses. So he's like, "All right, well, we're moving on to the next song." Like it just was like, we just getting in here and knocking this shit out. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna put my feelings down. I'm gonna say what I'm thinking. And then we just move on to the next one. I don't want to hear it back. I don't want to listen to it 20 times over. Like, that song is wrapped up. Hear it once, good, cool. All right, next beat. And, you know, like I said, that can be a gift and a curse. Like, you got to be careful. There's a balance to it. But at the same time, like, that mentality allows you to just keep moving forward. It's the same with, like, saying doing YouTube content. Like, you can upload a video on YouTube, and you can sit there for the entire day and just constantly watch the analytics. Constantly be focused on how many people have watched it. how many people have clicked on it? What's the click through rate? Like that is good information to know. You want to understand that side of things as well, because you want to know, did my thumbnail work, my title? Like you do want to know that, but the checking it every single 5 minutes or every 10 minutes or 20 minutes or every half hour even, like it just gets to be a little bit much. Whereas really you should put that video out, check it in a day or two and watch those analytics. Now, obviously if you have a team, you could have people that are checking it regularly and they're like, yo, we got to change the thumbnail. It's not working out as well. But initially when it's just you doing everything, you almost want to just put that video out. You knew that you worked hard on it. You knew that you tried your best to put good content out there, and then just move on to the next topic. Find the next thing and start working towards that, trying to figure out what that's going to be, and just let that video cook. And then check it in a day or 2, 3 days, whatever. Check the analytics, see what's happening, see what click-through rate is, see what all that stuff is, and be like, ooh, okay, I feel like maybe I could have did this better. Okay, the thumbnail maybe slacks because the click-through rate is down. Okay, the watch time is down. Let me watch through it one time and just get an idea of why people aren't watching more of the video, and then make that adjustment and do another one going forward. But like, you just want to kind of keep moving, because sometimes it's not even that the content wasn't great. It's just maybe not a topic that a lot of people are very interested in the moment. And it might blow up later on down the line, but you focusing so much on that is taking away from you focusing on the next one and the next one. And do you know what I'm saying? So it's a balancing act.
I ain't saying your shit sound sloppy. I'm just saying if you're trying to hit the top, gotta take the pressure off. I'ma do it, homie, watch me. Yeah, you gotta treat it like a hobby. I ain't saying your shit sound sloppy.
I feel like it's gonna be a long reaction.
I'm if you wanna be the
already
best,
at like 6 minutes.
Pressure and that stress on your mental cause it's mad depressing when you over obsessing. Over the first line, can't begin with the lesson. So at the blank page, you just keep on staring. Thoughts enter your mind, don't feel worthy of sharing. Then you start with the comparing. Then what would Jay-Z say? Now the pressure's on, ain't giving yourself no leeway. Thinking about rappers with platinum plaques who mastered this, and now your inner critic is laughing. You feel inadequate, you're so overly passionate. Maybe that's the problem. You wanna be Big L, Pac, Biggie, your godson. Hear the greatest rappers of all time, you love them, and then you hear the shit that you making and get to judging. The good news, your taste is impeccable. The bad news, the gap is immeasurable. Hard to close the gap when you can't even write your first line. Treat it like a hobby, not a job, and let your verse shine. I'm saying, yeah, you gotta treat it like a hobby.
As someone who also makes music, I totally feel that. There's times where you're sitting here and you have such a hard time getting that first line out. And then sometimes you'll write a whole bunch of lines and then be like, I got to scrap the whole thing. Like, it's just not that good. And it's hard. You start to compare yourself to the people that you think are great. And in reality, it's like, you're not going to rap like them. You don't want to rap like them. You want to be your own unique person. And sometimes that means you got to go outside the box. Like, think about like, if I'm trying to think of like a newer art, like a Joyner Lucas was like, man, I really look at Biggie as like the greatest ever. I love Biggie. But if I don't write like Biggie, oh man, this isn't that good. This isn't like, he's so different from what Biggie gave you, right? And he's great in his own way, and he's paved his own path. Like, that's what you want to do. You can't always look at it, be like, well, what would this person say? What would that person say? This may not be that good, because you also don't know who's gonna connect with it, right? Like, just because you're thinking, okay, I don't know if these artists would say this, it doesn't mean that you can't say it. You're your own artist. And the people that listen to your music and the people that come across your music may be like, yo, I like this. This is different. It's not like that. It's not like this. He's his own artist, and this is a topic I'm interested in, or, you know what I'm saying? I like the way that he put, like, you don't know until you give it a shot, right? So you almost want to put it out there. And there's songs that I put out there as like a joke almost. Like, there's a song I have called Like Me. And it's one of my most streamed songs. And honestly, I wrote it just kind of like messing around. Just like, all right, you know what? This is a beat I don't normally use. I'm just going to have fun with it and just say some shit. Didn't think twice about it. Just kind of wrote it down and ran with it, recorded it, and people absolutely loved it. More so than a lot of the songs that I sat there and thought over and over and over about. And, you know, and it's hard to stay in that space, but I keep trying to get myself back to that where I'm like, yo, just write it. Just write it. Like, at the end of the day, if I record it and I do feel like it's not that great, play it with a few people, they're like, it's okay, you know, then I can always scrap it. But don't let myself get caught up and never actually write it, because you never know when you're going to hit that banger that you don't even see coming. So you got to just kind of roll with it.
I ain't saying your shit sound sloppy. I'm just saying if you're trying to hit the top, gotta take the pressure off. I'ma do it, homie, watch me. Yeah, you gotta treat it like a hobby. I ain't saying your shit sound sloppy. I'm just saying if you wanna be the best, all that pressure and that stress on your mental list. Imagine signing up for an open mic. Nothing major, you just wanna build some local hype. You may not be the dopest, right? But won't be the worst. Besides, it's more for practice, just a way to rehearse. Plus a way to build community and get some support from your local rap cohorts who hold down the fort. You show up, the slightest been nervous, but mostly excited to finally get some feedback on the flows you've been writing. The host is delighted, smiling, saying, wait till you hear. Trust me, bro, it's about to be the craziest year. You like, huh, I wonder what he means. Next thing you know, he steps to the stage and all the house lights turn low. He grabs the mic. My friends, tonight we are blessed to be in the presence of some very special guests. I hope you brought your A game to the spot today, and I'll make some noise for Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Jay-Z, Nas, Kendrick, and Cole. They're here to bring some mentorship and help your penmanship grow. What a beautiful opportunity for our music scene. Now who wants to go first and rep for our community? Suddenly your body tense, color drains from your face. Look for an exit to escape from this place. When it was just a hobby, you thought your verse was the shit. Now the pressure's on and you way too nervous to spit. You gotta treat it like a hobby.
That's another thing too, right? Imagine you go to the open mic, you're like, I'm just gonna have some fun with it, right? And then you find out all these people are there. You would get a little bit nervous, and that's rightfully so. And I think that's always gonna be the case. It's the same with like anybody that's getting on stage. There's some people that are just cold mothers, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for some reason they don't feel anything, but the majority of people, they get some butterflies, they get some nervousness, and you got to learn to treat that as fuel to push yourself forward. But open mics are fun. I've done a few open mics in my area and stuff, and it's been cool because you get to connect with a lot of other artists locally and get to know other people and so on and so forth. And at first I remember being mad nervous to get up there and do it, but I did it a few times, and then it got to the point where like I was just sitting at the bar, and it was like, all right, yo, I'm gonna take the mic right here. I got my drink or whatever, and I just like just going off at the bar, sitting right amongst everybody. Like it's a good time. Like once you put yourself out there, it starts to get more and more easy to do, and you get more and more comfortable with it.
I ain't saying your shit sounds sloppy.
I like
this.
Saying
if you're trying to hit the top, gotta take the pressure off. I'ma do it, homie, watch me. Yeah, you gotta treat it like a hobby. I ain't saying your shit sound sloppy. I'm just saying if you wanna be the best, all that pressure and that stress on your mental could be costly. You gotta care too much, care too much. You gotta care too much, care too much. You gotta.
This was dope. I enjoyed this. I feel like, yo, he be saying shit that brings out talking like nonstop. So we had like almost 12 minutes. It's a long reaction, but that's what you get when we talk about Harry Mack, because he always brings a topic out that I feel like is worth discussing. And this was definitely one of those times. So I enjoyed this, and I feel like it's very true. And I kind of look at it that way a lot now. I mean, it's not like music is the leading force of everything that I do. My YouTube and my content and reactions and different stuff like that, live streams are more so like the foundation of it. But music is something that I've always loved and I've always wanted to do. And I'd love to go on my Spotify one day and have 10, 20,000. If I had 100,000 listeners, I'd blow my mind. But I don't like go about it like, yo, I have to do this. The pressure's on. I need to do this. I'm more so I'm like, yo, I just enjoy making music. It's therapeutic for me. I get out my feelings. I'm able to talk about things. I'm able to just kind of just put it out there in a way that's easier for me than talking about stuff sometimes. And if people connect with it, I think that that's dope. And so those of you guys that have listened to my music, that have enjoyed it, like it means the world to me. And more is going to be coming. Like I said, I'm going tomorrow morning to go record some stuff in Ohio. I got like 4 songs done, probably do another 1 or 2 there. So maybe have 6. And I'll try to drop like 2 a month. And hopefully if I can keep that going, we can roll through this whole year, 2 a month. And I don't think I've ever done that ever in my life. Like I always kind of fall off of it. That's something that I need to not do, right? Like I need to, it's good to be a hobby, but a hobby that you're consistent with is how you need to do it. When you start falling off and not really doing it for months and months, I feel like it doesn't help anybody out. So a lot of music is going to be coming. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Harry. Again, I will be late on the Friday upload. I don't know what it's going to be, if it's a Gorilla Bars or otherwise, but I will try to dive into it as soon as I'm back. I'll probably record it Sunday night if it's not too late, but it won't go up until Monday most likely. So look out for that, and I will catch you in the next one, homies.